Greetings everyone, I'm the Technomage. And yes, you read the title right. Starting this week and continuing weekly, this will be now the manga news videos. Not just from the Weekly Shonen Jump, I've decided to expand the news not just to the table of contents provided by Shonen Jump News Unofficial on Twitter, remember to follow them, but to other manga series that I enjoy and other news that interest me. So let's get to it. Let's start with the usual. So here's the table of content for issue number 41 of the Weekly Shonen Jump. And this week we will have first chapter of a new series, Genka Toriuna. This is the second of two new series that will begin serialization at the Shonen Jump. The first being Tokyo Demon Bride Story, which started last week, and I already read the first chapter and it's good. The series looks really promising. It's got a very nice pair of protagonists, good characters, a really nice setting. The author can do a lot with this story. So let's hope it becomes a success and it doesn't go to the danger zone with the usual suspects. And speaking of the danger zone and the usual suspects, Aliens Area is still here. Alright, look. Last two chapters were really slow and kind of boring because they were just exposition and information of which maybe will be the main antagonist of the series, or maybe one of the baddies of the series. But according to the end of last week's chapter, this week's chapter will have a lot of fighting and combat. So let's hope that helps Aliens Area to go up in the table. And Bleach Thousand Year Blood War TV anime has revealed its opening and ending, which will be the opening will be Scar by Kitani Tatsuya, which I assume is this young lady over here, and the ending will be Saihate by Senarin, which I assume it's this other young lady over here. Bleach Thousand Year Blood War Arc TV anime is scheduled to start broadcasting on October 10th of this year. Now I'm not going to search for these two songs on YouTube because I don't want YouTube to give me a copyright strike or something. And One Piece Film Red has exceeded 13 billion yen in earnings with over 9.3 million admissions in a 31-day period in Japanese theaters. So, in 1 month, One Piece Film Red has earned almost $90.5 million US dollars. So yes, this is official. This movie is a success. I tried to find what was the budget of this movie, but I couldn't find it anywhere. But according to Wikipedia, One Piece Film Red has also made worldwide $105 million. And yes, well, what else can I say is One Piece is one of the greatest stories ever told, and this anime movie, it's a success. It's a outstanding success, and some friends of mine are still waiting for this series to be published, to be released on my country. So congratulations, One Piece. And here now we begin with the manga news of other mangas besides those published by the Shonen Jump. Starting with Lucky Star manga resumes serialization, switches to Mitaina magazine. Wow, what a way to make myself feel old. For those of us who became otakus on the early 2000s, yes, I'm that old. Lucky Star was an incredible anime series. I never read the manga, but I watched the entire 24 episode television anime back in 2010, I think it was, and it was incredible. The characters were so funny, the entire series was hilarious, and the protagonist, Konata Izumi, was an icon for otakus worldwide because she was a huge, mega otaku. I mean, this little girl was incredible. So, if there's any Lucky Star manga fan watching this video, rejoice, Lucky Star is back after 8 years of hiatus. And Mahotsukai no Yome gets second season in spring 2023. So next year we will have, in April next year, will be released the second season for Ancient Magus Bride's anime series. I watched the first season and I fell in love with the story. The characters were amazing, the art was incredible, the animation was outstanding, and the soundtrack was beautiful. Right now I'm up to date with the manga, and it was about time they made a second season for this series. What took them so long? Oh, right. The manga is monthly issued, so yes, they had to wait a long time to get enough story to adapt in anime, so they wouldn't have to start releasing filler, waiting for the story in the manga to advance, like it happened on the 2000s and the 2010. Oh, that was a long time ago when we have a epidemic of anime series that were nothing but filler because they were adapting monthly issued manga way too soon. It happened to Hellsing, it happened to, what was his name? Full Metal Alchemist, yes, and Kuroshitsuji. Yes, oh man, some of those episodes were terrifying. I mean, do you remember all the filler that was in Naruto? No, nobody wants that. So yes, I am up to date with the manga, and yes, there's no enough story to safely make a second season without filler. So yay us. And speaking of making myself feel old, Manga Versailles Novara gets new anime movie. Now, I've never read this manga. I mean, I am not that old, but I am old enough to know that this series is a classic of classics. The series, with its main protagonist, Lady Oscar, had a strong, independent woman as the protagonist way before strong, independent women became a fad like they are nowadays. And the anime movie is commemorating the manga serialization's 50th anniversary. That's a lot. I mean, 50 years and this series is still remembered. This is the definition of a classic that transcends the test of time. And One Punch Man gets third anime season. And yes, finally, the official website of the television anime adaptation of One and Yusuke Murata's One Punch Man manga announced a third season on Thursday, revealing a teaser visual, pictured right here, where we see the protagonist Saitama and the antagonist Garo. And it's One Punch Man. Do you really need me to say anything else? I don't think so. Now, this one has me very excited. Manga Dungeon Meshi gets TV anime. Kadokawa opened an official website for the television anime adaptation of Ryoko Kui's Dungeon Meshi, Delicious in Dungeon, on Wednesday, revealing a teaser visual, which is pictured right here. The anime will be produced by Studio Trigger. Oh yes, the animation is going to be great. And I really like this series. I discovered it, I think, early this year or last year, I think. I was looking for new fantasy stories to read. I wanted more stories of that theme, and I discovered Dungeon Meshi, or Delicious in Dungeon, or Dungeon Lunch, however you wanna call it, and it was so good. I mean, the story of Laios and his group of adventurers, Marcel the elven healer, and Shillshock the halfling thief, who battling a red dragon on this mysterious underground dungeon. They were almost wiped out. They lost almost all their equipment, and Laios' sister Falin was eaten by this dragon. So they decide to go back into the dungeon with what little they have, and they decide to save up money to prepare their meals by eating the monsters in the dungeon. And they casually meet a dwarf named Senshi, who had the same idea a long time ago and has been researching how to make the monsters and the plants in the dungeon into delicious food. And I really like this series, except for one thing: how good the food is drawn on the manga. It's always getting me hungry. And Tower of God TV anime gets second season. A second anime season for Seu's Tower of God manga was announced at the Crunchyroll Expo convention on Saturday. The event also revealed a promotional video and key visual picture right here. Now the first season of this series grabbed the whole world by surprise. Nobody expected this anime to be that good. I mean, the first season, produced by Telecom Animation Film, aired under the title Kami no To, with 13 episodes in the spring of 2020. And it was so good. The designs were incredible, the characters are amazing, the animation, unbeatable, and the soundtrack by Kevin Penkin was something out of this world. I have the Tower of God anime soundtrack as a playlist on Spotify, and I cannot, even to this day, I cannot stop listening to it. At least once or twice a month, I just stop everything and I just play it from beginning to end. It's wonderful. It's really amazing. And to end this video, do you remember this? Yes, the Manga Up service released by Square Enix, following the example of other manga magazines. They launched their own mobile app to publish their manga series all around the world, and it became an immediate trending news because of their series. No, of their model of payment, which was ridiculous by the way in itself. That was another issue. But why it became famous? Because of this. The censoring. The ridiculous censoring. Which was obviously made by some kind of artificial intelligence or something, because some of the censoring was so random. I mean, look at here. In one panel, they are covering the upper part of this young lady, and then on the lower panel, on the very same page, there is no censoring for the same part. Here what can I say? And of course, who can forget the knee? It censored a knee. You can't show knees on the Square Enix Manga Up. You just can't. Like, seriously. Well, it's gone. Yes, it's gone. Square Enix Manga Up global app removes black bars from all content. The team behind the mobile app has issued a official message which reads, "Hello Manga Up fans, thank you for sharing your feedback on Manga Up. We heard your comments and have issued an update to the app that removes the use of black bars from all content. Starting today, suggestive content has been restored to its original artwork and explicit content has been addressed using blurring or shading techniques that are less intrusive to the reading experience. In the future, we will do our best to only modify artwork when absolutely necessary and to do so in a manner that is seamless as possible to the storytelling." Well, congratulations to you, Manga Up, for listening to the fans and doing what was right, what you should have done since the beginning. To be honest, I mean, for fixing something that you should have never done in the first place. Now, please fix your ridiculous payment monetization system, and this app will be a success. And that will be all for this week. This is the Technomage signing off. Thank you for watching. I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.